Does anyone have a question? Just an announcement. I did a podcast with a woman named Christine Blanchette, and it was done last week, and it really turned out to be very good. Covers much of the same ground as the one I did before it, but I think the quality is much better. And it's on my website. It was just posted, I think, today on my website if you want to listen to it. Her name is Christine Blanchette, and she does podcasts. And I was invited to be on her program. So I think there's kind of a lot to learn from that about what I teach, why I teach it, kind of questions that were asked me, what it's really all about. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? When I was younger, I always looked out into the world for answers to all my problems, and it was always seriously disappointing. And I never could figure out why it was disappointing, what, the problem was, until I began to realize that if I want an answer, a real answer to any situation in my life, I have to plummet the depths of my own being. All the answers are there. All the wisdom is there. All the knowledge is so deep inside us that it requires us to do the work to truly, it's like drilling a tunnel through a mountain sometimes in order to get to that wisdom, that answer, that thing that allows the heart to open and allows there to be gratitude in life. All great spiritual teachings come from that place. All great music comes from that place. Great art comes from that place. And we as human beings are born here to learn how to tap that energy that gives us a connection with spirit, gives us a connection with what's infinite in the universe, and energy that's creating the world around us, everything. I mean, it's Genesis. I mean, Genesis isn't something that happened 5 million years ago. It's going on every single moment. And the only person missing is each and every one of us because we spend so much time in our heads, so much time thinking and analyzing and trying to justify life according to what we think life is supposed to be. And I don't think there's a human being alive that has any idea what life is supposed to be. And that's why it gets so screwed up all the time with all this politics and wars that go on and fighting and is people try to implement their own reality on everybody else. And of course, there's resistance. So we as human beings, we have work to do. There's like a covenant we have to make with higher energy. We will do the work to clear the path to spiritual enlightenment. Now, we can't do this for other people. We can do it for ourselves. But we also take upon ourselves karma's responsibility, learning how to have compassion, learning how to live with love, learning how to really attain the highest levels of our humanity. We're born here to learn this, much more than learning how to make money and learning how, to whatever, to learn how to clear the path in ourselves that connects with higher energy, God, spirit, whatever one wants to call it. And in clearing that path, we get wisdom, not wisdom we manufacture in our brain, wisdom that comes from us from the source of all creativity in the universe. Wisdom that comes to us because we don't manufacture wisdom in our heads. We're open to receive what God, the universe, has to teach us. And this is really an important element in this meditation that we practice. Because if you want answers, my job is to train you how to find answers deep inside yourself. That's my job. My job is not being a guru, you know, not being Swami Stuart or anything of that nature. It's to really help people find the answers that exist inside themselves, to build the strength inside that enables them to do it. Clear the path, open the door, and allow higher energy to come in. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, this is Bill.
Yes,
So
Bill.
I uh, I was wondering if you could comment on something. I don't know if it's quite a question, but I was reading some of Rudy's works, and one thing stood out. He said, "Don't get involved with your mind." And when I was trying to understand that, the only thing that came to me was that I can't do that with my mind, but if I let a type of awareness that seems to precede my mind, uh, then
You know,
it's the only
Bill,
way I step back.
you're trying to figure it out with your mind, Bill. And that is what Rudy was talking about. You understand? Look, the mind is something that is a really powerful energy. It's an energy that people live with almost 24 hours a day. It's a rational energy, it's a logistical energy, it's an energy that is endlessly trying to figure out what is right or wrong in the world. It's an energy that consumes us, it eats us. It's like a cannibalistic kind of energy that eats people alive. Now, Rudy always said, what's killing you can give you life if you learn to use the mind properly. The mind is powerful. It's like a surgical instrument. And if you take that focus of your attention and bring it to the chakra right below the navel, the mind will act like a surgical instrument that will open the very core of your being, the foundation of the being, that will give you the strength to live with an open heart, to live with a quiet mind. And when the mind is quiet, you can begin to receive exactly what I've been talking about the last 10 minutes. Wisdom and knowledge that comes from the source of all creativity in the universe, the fountainhead of all creation. We can receive that inside us. The only thing that keeps us from doing it is the mind never shuts up. It's a non-stop birdcage full of canaries. It yaks and goes on, and it also eats people alive. It consumes them. And I think that this is a very difficult thing for people to learn and understand because we are trained from the earliest periods of our life to use the mind, to figure out the solution in the mind. And you figure it out, and 10 minutes later, it doesn't work anymore. But when the mind is quiet, this wisdom comes, this knowledge comes. I mean, it's like I keep repeating this, but it's so wonderful. It's like Bach said, when he was dying, all people were mourning and, lamenting and, oh, Johann, why are you leaving the world? And he looks at them and says, why are you all so unhappy? I'm just going to the place where the music comes from. It's the place where all creativity and all of creation comes from. And when the mind isn't quiet, that music, it can't come into us. That energy of creation can't come into it. We are blocking it away. We're analyzing it. And what we're doing is bringing something that is infinite in the universe down to our own level of understanding.
When I step back into this other type of awareness that's not personal, things do get quiet.
Good.
But that's not a very stable condition for me.
Yeah, but if you get grounded in the core of your being by using the mind the way I just explained to you, you will build a system inside that will make you very stable. That is one of the great resources of this meditation. It teaches one to build that kind of system inside so that you can be stable in dealing with anything you have to deal with, dealing with your emotional problems, dealing with the politics of the world, dealing with all the nonsense that goes on in the world. You can be stable and so, but the mind can do that for you if you learn how to use it consciously by bringing it down to that chakra. In this meditation practice, you'll get that grounding, that rootedness, that foundation, you know? I mean, I always kid around and say, when they built the pyramids, they didn't start from the top stone, the third eye at the top. They started in the foundation and they worked their way up. And this meditation is kind of like that, building the pyramids inside, where you got to build the foundation and then on it, you ultimately get a quiet mind and knowledge. I will never forget when I was in Cairo, I went to the pyramids and I sat there for an hour or two just meditating with that. The energy was so powerful. And it deeply reminded me of the meditation that I practice and teach. And there's the foundation. The foundation is a half a block long, and you go up to the top, and it's two stones up there, the third eye, knowledge, wisdom. That's how you get stability. And I think you're here to learn that. That's what this meditation is about. Opening to the source of all creativity, but being stable enough to be able to allow it to flow through you. Having the strength inside yourself. You have to have patience, Bill, because this takes time to build. You don't get this in 2 days. I'm talking from 50 years of doing this now. Doesn't mean that it took me 50 years to get this, but it took time. I mean, Rudy always used to kid around with me. I'd tell him my great spiritual experiences. And he'd look at me and the schmuck thinks he's having a spiritual life. He says, Stuart, how long you been doing this? I go, I'm Rudy, 6 months. He says, Stuart, I've been doing this 36 years. And of course, I just said, yeah, he's right. In that amount of time, you're going to have to learn something.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have a question they would like to? Okay, there will be meditation this evening. Jennifer has her class this evening. There'll be another class tomorrow. All week there'll be class. Next weekend, I'm having a retreat. And again, I'll repeat, this retreat is pretty filled up. But if you want to attend the retreat in October, there's still space available. I think there's 12 or 14 people that have already signed up for it. So, let myself or Jennifer know. Thank you. Bless you all. Have a wonderful afternoon. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you,
Thank
Stuart.
you.
Thank you. God bless you too.